Chris Brown's Michael Jackson sampling new track, perhaps a leaked version of a future DJ Khaled song, debuts at number 1. Drake recently got access to unreleased Michael Jackson vocals for his Scorpion cut Don't Matter to Me, proving that the king of pop's estate isn't as impenetrable as it often seems to be. Could Chris Brown or DJ Khaled do the same? That's debatable. Neither has quite the sway that Drake does in the music business, and although there was a time when Breezy was often compared to the singing, dancing double threat, his career hasn't exactly taken the same path as Jackson. Topping our chart this week is a leak from Chris Brown that contains a very obvious MJ sample and is alleged to be an outtake from a Khaled session. Brown ostensibly leaked it because he was frustrated with Khaled not putting it on his upcoming album, but who knows if the sample would have even been cleared. As far as most appearances in the top 10 this week goes, we've got Quavo and Travis Scott in a tie for first with 2 songs apiece. New songs barely missing out on spots this week include Mac Miller's Inertia, number 11, Travis Scott, Stevie Wonder, James Blake, and Kid Cudi's Stop Trying to Be God, number 12, Gringo and Tekashi 6699's Skittle Ez, number 14, and Future's Scamelot, number 15. 10. Lil Uzi Vert, Everything Lit. The only holdover from last week's top 10 is one of 2 Uzi tracks that leaked out 2 weeks ago. Compared with Introvert, the second of the pair, Everything Lit fared much better on our chart. Whereas the former is down 34 places from last week, the latter only slides 8 places in its second week out, falling from number 2 to number 10. 9. Trippie Redd, Together, Bigger Than Satan. We are now less than a week away from the release of Trippie Redd's debut album, Life's a Trip, and as a teaser, the Ohio rapper dropped off a taste of the album last week. Together, Bigger Than Satan is a drumless strummer that's a little too aimless to be a single, but it's been anticipated by Trippie's fans for months. It debuts at number 9. 8. H.E.R. featuring Bryson Tiller, Could Have Been. R&B up-and-comer H.E.R. is slowly letting us into her world, revealing her identity recently and sharing the new EP last Friday. As its title suggests, I Used to Know Her, the prelude is just a warm-up for her eventual debut album, and this duet with Bryson Tiller certainly seems to have gotten people's attention. Could Have Been debuts at number 8. 7. Lil Baby, Seattle. Hailing from Atlanta, Lil Baby couldn't live much further from Seattle, Washington, at least inside the continental U.S., but he was apparently inspired during a recent trip to the Northwest. This brief track, named for the city in which it was recorded, debuts at number 7. 6. DJ Holiday featuring Quavo and 21 Savage, Two-Seater. At the same time that Travis Scott, YG, and Mac Miller released their new albums on Thursday night, Friday morning, mixtape veteran DJ Holiday shared a new single. Two-Seater features fellow Atlantans Quavo and 21 Savage and it debuts at number 6. 5. DJ Mustard featuring Travis Scott and YG, Dangerous World. Speaking of DJs, Travis Scott and YG, DJ Mustard also chose to share a new track last Friday, and it just so happens to feature the 2 rappers in question. Mustard chose the release date wisely, as Travis and YG's names were sure to be trending at the time of the Dangerous World drop. It debuts at number 5. 4. Travis Scott featuring Drake, Sicko Mode. Possibly the biggest collab on an album full of them, Sicko Mode brings Travis and Drizzy together for the first time since last year's Portland from More Life. Also featuring Swahili for a few seconds and a takey beat for the last third. The Astro World cut seems to be the early frontrunner for fan favorite. It debuts at number 4. 3. Future, Translator. In addition to executive producing the Superfly soundtrack and putting out Beast Mode 2 with Zaytoven, Future's also spent the past few months dropping off Luzies on his YouTube page. The melodic translator is, along with Scamelot, one of 2 that he dropped last week, and it debuts at number 3. 2. Party Next Door featuring Quavo and Lil Wayne, more remix. In a similar situation to what happened with Migos' star-studded remix of Cardi B's Drip a few weeks ago, Party Next Door saw a remix of his song More leak out this past week in low-quality form. In its first incarnation, the remix only featured Quavo, but in the official version that arrived the next day, Lil Wayne was added to the mix. This finalized More remix debuts at number 2. 1. Chris Brown, Had to Do It. Sorry DJ Khaled. As mentioned in the introduction, Chris Brown took to his SoundCloud page this past week to drop off a most likely unlicensed version of a new song that samples and interpolates Michael Jackson's Rock With You. Based on the title, it may be an outtake from DJ Khaled's upcoming album Father of a Sod that either didn't make the cut or couldn't get cleared. Whatever the case, it's still online and debuts at number 1.